Today I am celebrating Independent Bookstore Day. I love my local bookstores, but I have been to every single one of them. So for this Independent Bookstore weekend, I decided to take a trip and visit some of the stores that I have had on my bucket list for a while. Many of them are participating in a bookstore crawl this weekend. It's a 2-hour drive from Cleveland, where I live, to Columbus area to visit 6 different bookshops. I'm going to be starting off at the Book Loft. It's this incredible store that has so many rooms of books, but it's very close quarters. It's like walking through a lot of hallways. There are stairs going up, stairs going down. It's supposed to get up to 80 degrees Fahrenheit today, so that's why I'm going to that one first. I'm going to be picking up a sort of like bingo card at the first store that I visit, and I'll be marking off the different stores that I go to. I also, of course, have a couple coffee shops bookmarked in case I'm near one of those and need a little refreshment today. I'm really excited to take you along with me, and I will be in touch with you after I arrive at my first destination. Changing plans. There's a line about 25 people deep outside of that store right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit up a couple others, and I'll go back later in the day when Google says that they're a little less busy, although today is kind of unpredictable as to what's accurate, but that's the plan. Officially a book crawler, and Gramercy Books is marked on there, so that was my first stop. I like that there's a lot of free parking in the area, a lot of green grass. It's kind of like a college town. I would come here again on like a less busy day perhaps, but I don't know that I would like drive all the way to Columbus just for it. It was very upscale. I felt a little overwhelmed. Wandered into the children's area and looked at some of the picture books that they had featured, and I picked up one of those. My first stop is done, and it's starting to get a lot warmer. I think I'm going to go to Prologue Bookshop next because that's the closest to the area where I am right now. Headed to Prologue. Talk to you in a few. It's on High Street, which is one of the busiest areas of downtown Columbus. So was it worth the parking and walking for blocks only to discover that there was closer parking available that I missed. I don't know. But I did get one book, but now I'm enduring the long, grueling walk back to my car. But I have ice, and I have a bottle of water, and I have 2 bookstores down. So that's where we're at. I'm finally learning to position my phone so that the camera is not behind the steering wheel, so we're making progress today in more ways than one. Cover to cover was adorable. It's not very large, but the way that they have it laid out is like so intentionally for kids. There's just so much stuff at their eye level for them to look at, and art everywhere, and there was even like a little mouse hole like under the checkout counter. I thought that was really cool. I picked up a book there as well. So I have 3 books and 3 bookstores down where I am headed next. I'm starting to get a little bit hungry, but I'm also so warm that I don't feel like it has caught up with me yet, like the hunger. It's like one of those hot days where you just want to drink water endlessly. So I think in my next destination, I'm going to be looking for lunch, taking care of myself, because that is important. So more later, I'm gonna figure out where I'm headed, and then I will update you in a bit. I did not buy any books at the book Loft because it was so crowded. It was just not conducive to browsing, so I did walk through pretty much the entire store. I did get the book Loft on my card, so now I just have to do one more, and that will be where I drop off my card for the drawing, so that's where I'm headed next. One left. I'm kind of excited to get home, honestly, at this point. Feeling a cold shower. It's kind of the least bookish day to do an event of this sort because it's so hot. I will see you at Birdie Books. We did it! completed 5 different bookstores in one day. I got a lot of steps in. I had reached my day's activity goal probably at like bookstore number 3, finished the last one, turned in my card to the drawing. My hopes are not high because I'm pretty sure some people had more than one card when they were going around from store to store. So I have 3 books. I will probably talk about those later. For now, I'm just gonna head home and rest. So thanks for joining me for this book adventure, and I will talk to you soon with the book haul. I'm back home, obviously. It definitely took me a few days to recover from the book crawl because it was a lot of driving, it was very hot weather, and I was a little bit stressed about the parking situation at each location. My favorite location the whole day out had to be when I stopped for lunch at Fox in the Snow Cafe and had an amazing breakfast sandwich and some iced coffee. That honestly was the most refreshing thing I have ever had. I would definitely go back there. Actually, I would return to any of these bookshops on a less busy day, and I probably should have gone with my introvert instincts on this one and just planned a day trip when there wasn't a special event. The lines, the crowding, I think all of those kind of compete with your natural inclination to go to a bookstore. I would rather have a quiet and peaceful environment where I can browse to my heart's content than just be kind of rushed from line to line. I also initially thought that when I was standing in line that I would be able to just have conversations with other book lovers like myself, and that wasn't the case either because most of them came in groups or they had a friend with them, so I wasn't about to cut into that conversation. I would do another one of these events if they were in Cleveland, but I would not go to Columbus for another book event. I don't think. I would have to build up the confidence again. It's so counterintuitive to how I normally like to look at books and connect with people in general that it probably isn't the best fit for me. That being said, I loved getting to get out there and support independent bookstores on Independent Bookstore Day. Let me know how you celebrated that day in the comments. Let me know what book arrived in your latest haul that you're excited to pick up. Speaking of hauls, the first book that I bought is called Trying by Kobe Yamada with illustrations by Elise Hurst. This is the book that I was flipping through at Gramercy Books and I decided to take home with me. I really love the message of this book. It is about continuing to try to do something, especially when it comes to any creative endeavor, and about the experience that we gain and failures that we will look back on because they were something that we still spent our time on and we developed into the person that we are today because we tried. This is a children's book, but I think it kind of falls into the same camp as The Boy, the Fox, the Mole, and the Horse, in my opinion, because it has some truths that I think that are accessible and vital to adults and children alike. The next book I picked up was a memoir, and that is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. I had on my TBR for this year, and I'm looking forward to annotating my own copy. I'd started listening to the audiobook, but I decided I wanted to have one of my own to mark up and really appreciate the poetic imagery that this author uses in her work. Next, I visited Cover to Cover, which is a delightful little children's bookstore, and picked up Spying on Spies: How Elizabeth Smith Friedman Broke the Nazis' Secret Codes. And this is by Marissa Moss. I recognize this author's name, and her illustration style is very iconic to me because I grew up reading the Amelia books. I'll put it up here. They are a series of books that look like they were journals in like one of those composition notebooks. It's this little girl, I think she's in middle grade, and she writes about her frustrations with her older sister, her crushes on boys, her schoolwork, her dreams for the future, and she does all these cute little illustrations and doodles as well. And that's actually a series that got me into drawing and journaling myself. So when I saw this book at Cover to Cover and recognized the author's name and style, I had to have this one. So this is a biography, obviously, and I have not read any others from this series, but apparently Marissa Moss has also done one for The Woman Who Split the Atom. So if you're interested in women in STEM, women in history that are often overlooked figures, I would definitely give this one a read. I'm looking forward to trying it myself, and I think this is one of those books that when I pick it up, I immediately think, wow, even if I don't love this, it's going to be a great one to put in a little free library. So those are the books that I picked up doing bookstore day, and I'm so glad that you came along with me on my bookstore adventures. Have you explored any bookstores for the first time near you, or are there any on your list that you hope to get to this year? I love hearing from you. I hope you're gearing up for an amazing summer of reading, and I hope to see you in another video soon.